Keep on fighting, because the day you stop fighting for your future, your problems start deciding it for you. Think about this. How many times have you felt like giving up when things got heavy? When progress was slow? When your mind said, "This is too much"? That is the exact moment that defines your life. Not when everything is easy, not when people are cheering, but when you are tired, frustrated, and still choosing whether to continue. In this video, we are going to talk about the real fight, the fight inside your head, the fight against doubt, fear, excuses, low motivation, and emotional reactions. You will learn how to train your mindset, raise your standards, control your emotions, and build daily discipline, so quitting slowly disappears from your options. If you are ready to stop surrendering to temporary feelings and start building real inner strength, stay with me. This is not about hype. This is about making a decision that changes how you show up every single day. Number 1, face your inner voice and retrain it. There is a voice inside you that talks all day long. It speaks when you wake up. It speaks when you look in the mirror. It speaks when you make a mistake. It speaks when you think about starting something new. That voice can either build you or break you. And if you are serious about keeping on fighting, you must face that voice and retrain it. I have met people from every walk of life. Rich people, broke people, young people, old people. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is not talent. It is not luck. It is not background. It is what they allow their inner voice to say. You know what I am talking about. You wake up early to work on your goal, and the voice says, "Stay in bed." You think about applying for a better job, and the voice says, "You are not ready." You try to fix your habits, and the voice says, "You always fail." That voice feels real. It feels personal. It feels powerful, but it is not the boss of you. When you feel tired, and the voice says, "Skip it today," that is the moment that decides your future. When you feel embarrassed after making a mistake, and the voice says, "You are not good enough," that is the moment that shapes your identity. You cannot win in life if you lose to yourself every day. The first step is awareness. You must hear what your mind is saying. Most people never pause to listen. They just accept every thought as truth. But thoughts are not facts. They are habits. And habits can be changed. Start noticing the tone of your inner voice. Is it harsh? Is it negative? Does it remind you of old failures? Does it repeat what someone once told you when you were younger? Many people carry words from their past like heavy weight on their shoulders. A teacher who said you were average. A parent who said you were careless. A friend who said you would never succeed. Those words move into your mind and become your own voice. If you want to keep on fighting, you must decide that the old script is no longer allowed to run your life. When the voice says, "You cannot do this," answer it with action. When the voice says, "You are too late," prove it wrong with effort. Do not argue with your mind in a dramatic way. Do not shout at yourself. Just respond with behavior. Your actions are stronger than your thoughts. Confidence is not something you wait for. It grows from evidence. Every time you do what you said you would do, you create proof. That proof changes the tone of your inner voice. It becomes quieter. It becomes more respectful. It begins to say, "Maybe you can handle this." People think motivation comes first. That is not how it works. Action comes first. Then belief follows. When you complete a workout you did not feel like doing, your mind learns something. When you finish a task you wanted to avoid, your mind adjusts. It says, "You showed up. You did not quit." That is how you retrain the voice. There will be days when you feel low, your body feels heavy, your mood feels dark, your past mistakes feel close. On those days, the voice gets louder. It brings up memories. It reminds you of every time you fell short. That is when the fight becomes real. In those moments, slow down and speak to yourself with clarity. Not soft excuses, not harsh attacks. Clarity. Say to yourself, "I made mistakes, but I am still here. I feel tired, but I can take one step. I feel afraid, but I can make one call." Keep it simple. One step, one action, one promise kept. You are not trying to silence your mind forever. You are training it, just like you train your body. At first, the weight feels heavy, your muscles shake, but over time, you get stronger. The same happens with your thoughts. At first, it feels uncomfortable to challenge them, but with practice, you gain control. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop believing every negative thought. You start observing them instead. The voice says, "You will fail," and instead of accepting it, you think, "That is just a thought." The voice says, "You are not ready," and you respond, "I can prepare." This small distance between you and your thoughts changes everything. Your mind wants comfort, it wants safety, it wants to avoid pain. That is natural. But growth requires discomfort, so your inner voice will often try to protect you from effort. It will say, "Do not risk it. Do not try too hard. Do not stand out." If you obey that voice, you will stay average. Keeping on fighting means choosing growth over comfort again and again. It means understanding that the pain of discipline is lighter than the pain of regret. It means knowing that your mind can be trained like a muscle. Every morning you get a fresh chance to set the tone. Before the world speaks to you, speak to yourself. Remind yourself who you are trying to become. Remind yourself of the standards you have chosen. Do not wait for someone else to encourage you. That responsibility is yours. When you look in the mirror, do not search for flaws. Look for strength, even if it is small, even if it is just the strength to try again. That is enough to build on. The voice inside you will not change overnight. It took years to shape. It will take time to reshape. But every day you show up, every time you keep your word, every time you push through resistance, you are rewriting that script. Imagine the feeling of lying in bed at night knowing you did not back down from your own doubts. Your body feels tired but proud. Your mind feels calmer because you honored your commitments. That quiet satisfaction is powerful. It builds self-respect, and self-respect makes the inner voice stronger in a positive way. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be persistent. You do not need to win every day. You need to refuse to quit on yourself. Even when you slip, speak with honesty. Say, "I made a mistake. Now I will correct it." That tone builds trust within you. The world outside will always have noise, critics, pressure, competition. But the most important conversation is the one happening inside your head. If you master that, you can handle the rest. Face your inner voice. Listen carefully. Challenge what is false. Reinforce what is true. Back up your words with action. Over time, that voice will stop tearing you down and start pushing you forward. And when that shift happens, something changes in your posture. Your shoulders feel steady. Your breathing feels deeper. Your decisions feel clearer. You no longer wait for approval. You no longer shrink from challenge. You stand firm because you know you have trained the most important person in your life, yourself. Keep on fighting, not against the world, but against the limits you once accepted. Keep on fighting by improving your self-talk. Keep on fighting by acting even when you feel unsure. Keep on fighting until the voice inside you becomes your strongest supporter. That is how real growth happens. That is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives. And that is how you move from doubt to strength, one thought and one action at a time. Number 2, replace self-doubt with daily proof. Self-doubt is quiet but heavy. It sits in your chest when you think about trying something new. It shows up when you compare yourself to others. It whispers when you are about to take a risk. Many people think self-doubt disappears with success. That is not true. It disappears with proof. Daily proof. You do not defeat doubt by positive thinking alone. You defeat it by building evidence. The mind believes what it sees repeatedly. If you show it weakness again and again, it expects weakness. If you show it discipline, it begins to expect discipline. The key is not a big breakthrough. The key is small wins stacked every single day. I have watched people talk themselves out of great opportunities because they had no record of keeping promises to themselves. They wanted confidence before they acted. But confidence grows after you act. It is the reward for effort, not the requirement. If you want to replace self-doubt, start with simple commitments. Wake up when you say you will wake up. Finish the task you planned for the day. Move your body even when you feel lazy. Read 10 pages. Make one important call. These actions look small on paper, but they speak loudly to your mind. When you complete what you planned, you feel something in your body. Your posture shifts. Your breathing changes. There is a quiet sense of control. That feeling is proof. It tells your mind, I can rely on myself. That message is powerful. Self-doubt feeds on broken promises. Every time you say you will do something and you do not, you lower your own trust. You may not say it out loud, but your mind records it. After enough broken promises, the voice inside says you never follow through. And it sounds believable because the evidence supports it. Change the evidence. You do not need to impress the world. You need to impress yourself. Keep your word in private. Do the work when no one is watching. Build a private record of effort. That record becomes your shield when doubt appears. There will be days when you feel slow, days when progress feels invisible. That is when most people quit. They think nothing is happening, but something is happening. You are building consistency. You are teaching your mind that your feelings do not control your actions. Doubt says, you are not capable. Daily proof answers, I showed up again. Doubt says, you are behind. Daily proof answers, I moved forward today. Doubt says, others are better. Daily proof answers, I improved from yesterday. Notice the shift. You are not competing with the entire world. You are competing with your previous behavior. If you struggle with confidence at work, do not wait for a promotion to feel better. Prepare more than anyone expects. Learn one new skill each week. Ask questions. Take notes. Practice speaking clearly. Each action becomes a brick in your foundation. Over time, you stand taller because you know you have done the work. If you struggle with your health, do not promise extreme changes. Choose manageable steps. Walk every day. Drink more water. Sleep on time. After a few weeks, your body feels different. Your energy rises. That physical change becomes visible proof. Your mind adjusts its belief. The same principle applies in relationships. If you doubt your ability to be patient or kind, practice it daily. Listen fully. Speak calmly. Admit when you are wrong. Over time, your behavior shifts. You start seeing yourself as someone who handles situations with maturity. That new identity grows from repeated action. You must understand something important. Self-doubt is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you have not yet built enough evidence. It is neutral. It waits for data. Feed it the right data. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for completion. Finish what you start. Even if the result is average, finishing builds strength. It proves that you can stay until the end. That quality separates people who dream from people who achieve. There will be moments when you fall short. That is normal. The mistake is not the problem. The response is the problem. If you miss a day, do not miss two. If you fail at something, review it calmly. Adjust your approach. Try again. Recovery builds more confidence than easy success. Think about the feeling when you accomplish something difficult. Your hands may shake. Your heart may beat faster. You feel alive. That is the reward of effort. That sensation reminds you that growth is real. The body and mind both recognize it. Replace vague goals with clear tasks. Instead of saying, I want to be better, define what better means today. Make it measurable. Send the email. Complete the report. Practice for 30 minutes. Clear tasks produce clear proof. Many people wait for motivation. That is unreliable. Create structure instead. Set a fixed time for important work. Remove distractions. Prepare your tools in advance. Make it easier to act than to delay. Discipline creates results even when your mood is low. Over months, something changes quietly. The voice that once questioned you becomes softer. It does not disappear completely, but it loses authority. You start trusting your process. You start trusting your preparation. You no longer panic before every challenge because you have trained consistently. Confidence built on daily proof is steady. It does not depend on praise. It does not collapse after criticism. It stands on effort. Look back at your last 30 days. Count the promises you kept. Count the days you showed up. That count is your strength. If the number is low, do not feel ashamed. Feel responsible. Responsibility is empowering because it gives you control. You are not trapped by your past behavior. You are shaped by your current actions. Today is a fresh entry in your record. Write it with discipline. There is something deeply satisfying about earning your own respect. No one can give it to you. It grows from consistency. It grows from facing tasks you once avoided. It grows from choosing growth over comfort. You want to silence doubt? Then give your mind undeniable evidence. Build a track record so clear that when doubt speaks, you can answer calmly. I have done this before. I can do it again. That is how you move from uncertainty to strength. Not by wishing, not by hoping, by working, by repeating effort, by finishing what you start, by improving in small ways every day. Replace self-doubt with daily proof, and over time you will notice something powerful. You will walk differently. You will speak with clarity. You will make decisions faster, because deep inside you know you have earned your confidence. And when that realization settles in your chest, steady and strong, you understand that the fight was never about proving yourself to others. It was about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you once believed. Number 3, choose action before fear grows louder. Fear moves fast when you give it time. It starts as a small feeling in your stomach. Then it rises to your chest. Your breathing changes. Your mind begins to imagine everything that could go wrong. If you sit there too long, that feeling grows. It becomes louder than your goals. It becomes stronger than your desire to improve. That is why you must choose action before fear grows louder. Fear is natural. Every human being feels it. I have felt it before stepping onto stages. I have felt it before making decisions that carried risk. The difference is not the absence of fear. The difference is speed. The people who move forward decide quickly. They act while the fear is still small. When you delay, your mind fills the silence with worst-case scenarios. It shows you images of failure. It reminds you of past embarrassment. It exaggerates the difficulty. The longer you wait, the more convincing it becomes. Soon, doing nothing feels safer than trying. Action interrupts that process. The moment you take a step, even a small one, something shifts. Your focus moves from imagination to movement. Your body engages. Your attention narrows. Fear loses space to expand. Think about a phone call you have been avoiding. Before dialing, your heart beats faster. Your hands may feel warm. You imagine awkward pauses or rejection. But once you press the button and hear the ringing, you are already in motion. When the conversation begins, the fear fades because you are dealing with reality, not imagination. Most fear lives in imagination. You want to start a project. Fear says you might fail. You want to speak up in a meeting. Fear says you might sound foolish. You want to change careers. Fear says you might regret it. These thoughts grow in silence. They gain strength when you sit still. Choosing action does not mean reckless behavior. It means calculated movement. It means preparing enough to begin, then beginning before doubt multiplies. There is a physical sensation that comes right before action. It feels tense. Your body tightens. Your mind races. That is the exact moment that shapes your character. If you move forward in that moment, you train courage. If you step back, you train avoidance. Avoidance feels comfortable at first. You feel relief. The pressure drops. But later, regret appears. You replay the missed opportunity in your mind. That regret stays longer than the original fear. Action may feel uncomfortable for a few minutes. Regret can last for years. Train yourself to recognize the early signs of hesitation. Notice when you start overthinking. Notice when you begin checking your phone instead of starting the task. Notice when you say you will do it tomorrow. These are signals that fear is gaining ground. Create a rule for yourself. When you catch hesitation, count down from 5 and move. Stand up, open the laptop, walk into the room, press send. Simple movement breaks the pattern. Speed matters, not rushed chaos, but decisive movement. If you wait until you feel ready, you will wait a long time. Readiness grows through action, not before it. Skill develops by doing. Confidence increases by exposure. Strength builds through repetition. I have seen people transform their lives by adopting one principle. Act within 24 hours on important ideas. Do not let inspiration sit untouched. Call the person. Research the course. Draft the plan. Visit the location. Take the first step while your energy is fresh. Fear loses power when faced quickly. Your body reacts to uncertainty. That reaction is normal. Sweaty palms, tight throat, restless thoughts. Instead of interpreting these sensations as danger, see them as preparation. Your system is alert. Use that alertness to move. There is something powerful about finishing what you were afraid to start. Afterward, you feel lighter. Your shoulders relax. You realize the situation was manageable. That realization builds momentum. Momentum reduces future fear. The first speech feels terrifying. The 10th feels challenging. The The 100th feels natural. The first workout feels painful. The 20th feels routine. Repetition shrinks fear. Do not allow fear to make decisions about your future. It is designed to protect you from harm, not from growth. Growth often feels risky because it stretches you beyond your comfort zone. When you act quickly, you gather real information. You discover what actually happens instead of what you imagined. Reality is usually less dramatic than your thoughts. There will be times when action leads to mistakes. That is part of progress. Mistakes teach lessons. Lessons improve performance. Staying still teaches nothing. If you want to build a strong career, speak up even when your voice shakes. If you want a healthier body, begin exercising even when you feel self-conscious. If you want better relationships, start honest conversations even when you feel nervous. Action sends a message to yourself. It says, I am willing to face discomfort for something better. That message strengthens your identity. You become someone who moves despite fear. This does not mean you ignore caution. Research, plan, think. But do not let thinking turn into endless delay. Set a deadline for your decision. Commit to movement. There is a moment before every breakthrough when fear tries to stop you. It whispers that staying where you are is safer. But safety without growth leads to stagnation. And stagnation slowly drains your spirit. You feel most alive when you are progressing, when you are learning, when you are stretching your limits. That feeling is worth temporary discomfort. Remember this: fear grows in stillness and shrinks in motion. When you wake up with an important task ahead, do it first. Do not give your mind hours to build resistance. Complete the hardest action early. The rest of the day feels lighter. Build a habit of immediate response to opportunity. Someone invites you to collaborate. Say yes and figure out the details. An idea excites you. Outline it that same day. A problem needs solving. Begin working on it now. Over time, you will notice something. You feel less controlled by anxiety. You recover faster from setbacks. You approach challenges with steadiness. Not because fear disappeared, but because you stopped giving it time to dominate. Courage is not loud. It is often quiet and simple. It is the choice to move while your heart beats fast. It is the decision to speak when silence feels easier. It is the willingness to try when outcomes are uncertain. Choose action before fear grows louder. Make movement your habit. Build speed into your decisions. Train yourself to step forward. And one day you will look back and realize that the things which once frightened you have become part of your normal routine. That is growth. That is strength. That is what happens when you act before fear takes control.
Number 4, build confidence by keeping small promises. Confidence is not loud. It is not showing off. It is not pretending to be fearless. Real confidence is quiet trust in yourself. It is the calm feeling that says, I can handle this, and that kind of confidence is not built in big moments. It is built in small ones. It grows every time you keep a promise to yourself. Most people break promises to themselves every day. They say they will wake up early, then hit snooze. They say they will start eating better, then choose what is easy. They say they will finish a task, then push it to tomorrow. These actions may look small, but they send a powerful message inward. The message is simple. My word does not matter. When your own word loses value, your confidence weakens. You hesitate more. You question yourself more. You look for approval from others because you do not fully trust your own decisions. Now imagine the opposite. You decide to wake up at 6, and you get up at 6. You plan to read for 20 minutes, and you read for 20 minutes. You say you will take a walk after dinner, and you take that walk. These actions are simple. No one applauds you. No one even sees most of them. But your mind sees them, and your mind keeps score. Every kept promise strengthens your inner foundation. Confidence is built through evidence. When you repeatedly do what you said you would do, your mind begins to believe you. It stops doubting your intentions. It starts expecting follow-through. That expectation changes how you carry yourself. You stand straighter. You speak with more clarity. You make decisions with less hesitation. Start small. Do not create dramatic commitments that overwhelm you. If you promise to change everything at once, you will likely fail and feel worse. Choose something manageable, something that requires effort but is realistic. For example,
Decide that you will make your bed every morning. It sounds minor. It sounds almost childish. But it is a daily act of discipline. When you complete it, you begin your day with a win. That win sends a signal. I finish what I start. Decide that you will drink enough water. Decide that you will write a few lines in a journal. Decide that you will review your goals before sleeping. These are small actions, yet they shape your identity. Your identity is formed by repeated behavior. If you act like someone who keeps promises, you start seeing yourself as reliable. And once you see yourself that way, you protect that identity. There is something powerful about looking back at the end of a week and realizing you did what you planned. You feel a steady sense of pride, not arrogance, not excitement, pride. It is deep and stable. That feeling cannot be taken away by criticism or comparison. When you break a promise to yourself, do not respond with harsh judgment. Respond with correction. Notice what happened. Adjust the plan. Make the next promise slightly easier if needed. Then keep it. Recovery builds strength too. Many people think they need a big achievement to feel confident. They believe confidence comes after a promotion, a business success, or a public recognition. But if you cannot trust yourself in private, those achievements will not fix your insecurity. Confidence built on small promises is stronger because it is rooted in daily life. You might feel resistance at first. Your mind may say these actions are too simple to matter. Ignore that voice. Simplicity is powerful because it is repeatable. Repetition creates stability. Stability creates trust. Over time, you can increase the size of your promises. Add a new habit. Take on a bigger responsibility. Stretch your limits gradually. Because you have built a base, you can handle more without collapsing. There is also an emotional shift that happens. When challenges appear, you do not panic as easily. You think, I have handled smaller tasks consistently. I can handle this too. That belief is not blind hope. It is backed by your own history. Confidence also affects how others see you. When you consistently follow through, people notice. They rely on you more. They trust your words. That external trust reinforces your internal confidence. But remember, this process is personal. Do not perform for attention. Keep promises because they shape your character. If you want to improve your career, promise to prepare thoroughly for meetings. If you want better health, promise to respect your sleep schedule. If you want stronger relationships, promise to listen fully during conversations. Each promise is a chance to practice discipline. There will be days when you feel tired, days when motivation drops. On those days, the promise becomes even more important. Keeping it despite low energy strengthens you more than keeping it when you feel inspired. You begin to understand something important. Your mood does not control your behavior. Your commitment does. That realization is empowering. It gives you control. It reduces anxiety because you know you can act regardless of how you feel. Think about the physical sensation of finishing something you planned. Your shoulders relax. Your breathing feels steady. There is a quiet satisfaction in your chest. That sensation is the reward of integrity. Integrity is doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. Confidence built on integrity does not crumble under pressure. It remains steady because it is earned. Keep track of your promises. Write them down. Review them at the end of each day. Celebrate completion silently. Adjust when necessary. Stay patient. After several months, look at the difference. You hesitate less before starting tasks. You doubt yourself less in conversations. You make decisions faster because you trust your judgment. This transformation does not come from dramatic speeches or sudden inspiration. It comes from small, repeated actions. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Miss once and return immediately. Protect your pattern. Guard your commitments. The more you honor your word, the more you respect yourself. And self-respect is the root of confidence. Build it quietly. Build it daily. Build it through small promises that you keep again and again. And one day you will realize that you no longer question your ability as often. You will feel stable inside. You will move through life with calm strength. That is what happens when you decide that your word matters. That is what happens when you prove to yourself day after day that you can be trusted. Number 5, accept discomfort as the price of growth. Growth does not feel soft. It does not feel easy. It does not feel relaxing. Growth often feels tight in your chest, heavy in your legs, and uncertain in your mind. And that is exactly why most people avoid it. They are not afraid of success. They are afraid of discomfort. If you want to keep moving forward in life, You must accept discomfort as the price of growth. Every improvement demands something from you. Better health demands effort when you feel tired. Better income demands learning when you would rather rest. Better relationships demand honest conversations when silence feels safer. There is always a cost. The question is simple. Are you willing to pay it? Many people want the reward without the strain. They want confidence without challenge. They want strength without resistance. They want results without sacrifice. But life does not work that way. There is no progress without pressure. Discomfort shows up in different forms. Sometimes it is physical. Your muscles burn during exercise. Your body feels sore the next day. Sometimes it is mental. You sit in front of a difficult task and your brain feels stretched. Sometimes it is emotional. You admit a mistake and feel exposed. None of these feelings are pleasant, but all of them signal growth. The problem is not discomfort itself. The problem is how you interpret it. If you see discomfort as danger, you retreat. If you see discomfort as development, you move forward. When you walk into a room where you do not know anyone, you may feel nervous. Your palms feel warm. Your heartbeat rises. That sensation is not harm, it is expansion. You are stepping beyond familiarity. The more often you do it, the more natural it becomes. When you learn a new skill, you may feel clumsy at first. You make errors. You move slowly. That awkward stage is necessary. It means you are stretching your abilities. If you avoid it, you stay average. Comfort feels safe, but it keeps you in the same place. Comfort tells you to repeat what you already know. Growth asks you to try what you have not mastered. There will be mornings when the alarm rings and your body wants to stay in bed. The air feels cool. The room feels quiet. Getting up feels unpleasant. In that moment, you decide who you are becoming. If you rise anyway, you strengthen discipline. If you roll over, you strengthen comfort. Discomfort also appears when you set higher standards. You decide to spend less money. You decide to stop gossiping. You decide to focus more deeply. These changes can feel isolating at first. Others may not understand. You may feel different from your usual environment. That difference is part of growth. You cannot change your life while staying the same. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop asking, "How can I avoid this feeling?" and start asking, "What is this feeling teaching me?" Discomfort teaches patience. It teaches resilience. It teaches self-control. It teaches focus. When you push through a hard workout, your body adapts. When you complete a complex project, your mind adapts. When you navigate a difficult conversation, your emotional strength adapts. Adaptation only happens under pressure. Think about a time when you achieved something meaningful. It likely required effort. It likely required sacrifice. It likely required moments when you questioned yourself. And yet when you look back, you value those moments because they shaped you. Pain with purpose feels different from pain without direction. When you know why you are enduring discomfort, it becomes manageable. Tie your struggle to a clear goal. Remind yourself what you are building. You want better health? Then accept the soreness. You want financial freedom? Then accept the long hours of focused work. You want leadership skills? Then accept the responsibility and accountability. Avoiding discomfort often leads to deeper pain later. Ignoring your health today can lead to illness tomorrow. Avoiding hard conversations can damage relationships over time. Delaying effort can create regret that stays with you for years. Short-term discomfort prevents long-term regret. There is also emotional discomfort in growth. You may feel insecure when you enter a higher level. You may feel unsure when surrounded by people more experienced than you. That feeling is not a sign to leave. It is a sign you are in the right place. Stay in rooms that stretch you. Your body and mind are designed to adapt. What feels hard today can feel normal in a few months. But that only happens if you remain consistent. When discomfort arrives, pause. Breathe steadily. Do not react immediately. Observe the sensation. Notice that it rises and falls. Feelings are temporary. Your commitment can be permanent. Growth also requires giving up certain habits. Letting go can feel uncomfortable. You may miss the old routine. You may miss the ease. But replacing weak habits with strong ones demands adjustment. You cannot become stronger while holding on to what weakens you. There will be days when you question whether it is worth it. On those days, remember your vision. Remember the version of yourself you are working toward.
That version lives on the other side of repeated effort. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your trainer. It shapes you quietly. It tests your discipline. It builds your capacity. Instead of asking for an easier path, build stronger endurance. Instead of wishing for less pressure, develop greater resilience. Strength is formed by resistance. When you finish something difficult, notice how you feel. There is pride in your chest. There is clarity in your mind. There is steadiness in your posture. That reward is earned. Accept discomfort as part of the process. Expect it. Prepare for it. Welcome it as a sign of progress. Do not chase comfort as your main goal. Chase improvement. Comfort will come in moments of rest, but do not let it define your direction. Every step forward requires leaving something familiar behind. That transition feels uneasy. Stay steady. Keep moving. The life you want demands effort. It demands focus. It demands courage. And it demands the willingness to endure temporary strain for lasting reward. Accept discomfort as the price of growth. Pay it willingly. Pay it consistently. And over time, you will realize that what once felt difficult has become part of who you are.
Number 6, refuse excuses and confront hard truths. There comes a moment in every person's life when comfort and honesty stand in front of each other. Comfort says, protect yourself. Explain it away. Blame the situation. Honesty says, look at it clearly, even if it hurts. If you want real growth, you must refuse excuses and confront hard truths. Excuses are attractive because they reduce pressure. They give you a quick escape from responsibility. They protect your image. They help you sleep at night without facing what needs to change. But excuses also lock you in the same place year after year. You say you are not in shape because you are busy. You say you are not advancing in your career because the market is difficult. You say your goals are delayed because you did not get the right support. Some of those factors may be real. Life is not always fair, but when excuses become your default response, progress stops. Hard truths are uncomfortable. They force you to admit where you lack discipline. They reveal habits you have been ignoring. They show patterns in your behavior that are holding you back. Facing them requires courage. Look at your results without emotion for a moment. If your finances are unstable, examine your spending. If your health is declining, examine your daily choices. If your relationships are strained, examine how you communicate. The truth is often visible in your routine. Excuses shift focus outward. Truth shifts focus inward. When something goes wrong, the easy response is to point to external causes. The weather, the boss, the economy, your past. The harder response is to ask, what part did I play? What could I have done differently? That question creates power because it returns control to you. Refusing excuses does not mean blaming yourself for everything. It means taking ownership of what you can influence. That ownership changes your posture. It changes your tone. It changes your direction. There is a specific feeling when you tell yourself an excuse. It feels soft. It feels like relief. You feel temporarily safe. But later, there is a quiet frustration. You know you avoided something. That feeling lingers. When you confront a hard truth, the first sensation may be heavy. Your chest tightens. Your pride feels challenged. You may feel exposed. But after the initial discomfort, there is clarity. And clarity leads to action. Imagine looking at your calendar and realizing you waste hours scrolling on your phone. That truth may sting, but once you admit it, you can change it. You can set limits. You can replace that time with skill building or planning. Without admitting it, nothing changes. Imagine recognizing that your temper damages conversations. That realization may feel uncomfortable, but it gives you a starting point. You can practice pausing. You can choose calmer words. You can repair trust. Truth is not your enemy. It is your guide. Many people avoid hard truths because they fear judgment. They worry that admitting weakness means they are weak. In reality, denial is weakness. Acknowledgement is strength. Strong people can say, I was wrong. I handled that poorly. I need to improve. Those words build character. Excuses protect ego. Truth builds ability. There is also a deeper level to this. Sometimes the hard truth is about your environment. You may realize you are staying in a place that does not support your growth. You may realize you have outgrown certain habits or even certain relationships. That awareness can be painful, But pretending not to see it keeps you stuck. Confronting hard truths requires quiet reflection. Sit alone without distractions. Ask yourself direct questions. Where am I falling short? What am I avoiding? What habits are draining my energy? Write the answers down. Seeing them on paper makes them real. Once you see the truth, do not attack yourself. Replace criticism with correction. Identify one change you can make immediately. Small adjustments lead to meaningful transformation over time. If you notice that you often arrive late, stop blaming traffic. Leave earlier. If you notice that you skip workouts, stop blaming fatigue. Adjust your schedule. If you notice that you procrastinate on important tasks, remove distractions before you begin. Responsibility is empowering. It gives you options. There is something deeply stabilizing about knowing that your progress depends largely on your choices. It removes helplessness. It builds confidence. Hard truths also reveal your strengths. When you honestly evaluate your efforts, you may discover areas where you have been consistent. Recognize those. Build on them. Use them as evidence that you are capable of change. Refusing excuses means holding yourself to a higher standard. It means expecting more from your actions. It means understanding that your future will reflect your daily behavior. You cannot improve what you refuse to examine. There will be times when facing the truth feels overwhelming. Break it down. Tackle one area at a time. Do not attempt to fix everything in 1 week. Progress is steady, not sudden. When you remove excuses, you also remove the stories that keep you small. You stop telling yourself that circumstances define you. You start proving that decisions define you. People respect honesty. They trust those who admit mistakes and correct them. That respect begins with self-honesty. Imagine the relief of no longer defending weak habits. Imagine the freedom of saying, "This is my responsibility and I am working on it." That freedom builds momentum. Excuses create a cycle of delay. Truth creates a path forward. The world may still present obstacles. Challenges will still appear. But when you refuse to hide behind explanations, you approach those challenges with clarity and strength. Growth demands accountability. It demands self-awareness. It demands courage to look at yourself without filters. Refuse excuses. Confront hard truths. Accept responsibility where it belongs. Then take action based on what you see. Over time, you will notice a change in how you respond to setbacks. Instead of defending your position, you will search for solutions. Instead of blaming, you will adjust. Instead of staying stuck, you will move. That is the difference between drifting and directing your life. When you choose truth over comfort, you choose progress over stagnation. You choose maturity over denial. You choose strength over weakness. And that choice, repeated consistently, shapes a life built on integrity and real achievement. Number 7, strengthen identity through repeated discipline. Who you believe you are controls how you behave. If you see yourself as careless, you act carelessly. If you see yourself as focused, you protect your time. Identity is not formed by words. It is shaped by repeated discipline. Many people try to change their results without changing their identity. They set goals, create plans, and speak about success. But deep inside, they still see themselves as inconsistent or unlucky. When pressure rises, they return to old behavior because that behavior matches their identity. If you want lasting change, you must strengthen your identity through disciplined action. Discipline is not punishment. It is alignment. It is choosing behavior that matches the person you want to become. Every time you act with control and intention, you cast a vote for a stronger identity. Think about someone who identifies as reliable. That person shows up on time, completes tasks, honors commitments. That identity was not formed overnight. It was built through repeated follow-through. You cannot claim an identity you do not practice. If you want to see yourself as healthy, your daily routine must include habits that support health. If you want to see yourself as financially responsible, your spending must reflect that. If you want to see yourself as mentally strong, your responses to stress must show restraint and clarity. Repeated discipline rewires how you view yourself. At first, discipline feels forced. You must remind yourself to stay on track. You must resist distractions. You must push against comfort. But with repetition, the behavior becomes familiar. Familiar behavior shapes belief. Your mind pays attention to patterns. When it sees you wake up early consistently, it concludes that you are someone who values structure. When it sees you practice a skill daily, it concludes that you are serious about improvement.
When it sees you control your reactions during conflict, it concludes that you are composed. These conclusions form identity. Identity influences decisions without conscious effort. If you believe you are disciplined, you are less likely to waste time. If you believe you are focused, you are less likely to procrastinate. Your actions align naturally with your self-image. That is why repeated discipline is powerful. It reduces internal conflict. There is a difference between forcing yourself occasionally and living according to a standard. Occasional effort creates temporary results. Consistent discipline creates transformation. You might begin by setting a fixed schedule. Wake up at the same time each day. Plan your priorities the night before. Limit unnecessary distractions. Review your goals weekly. These structured actions send clear signals to your mind. Structure builds stability. Over time, you notice that you rely less on motivation. You act because it is part of who you are. You no longer debate whether to complete your responsibilities. You simply do them. That shift creates confidence. Discipline also strengthens emotional identity. When faced with criticism, instead of reacting impulsively, you pause. You choose thoughtful words. After several similar moments, you begin to see yourself as calm under pressure. That belief reinforces future behavior. Every disciplined action reinforces a self-image. There will be days when discipline feels heavy. Fatigue sets in. Distractions increase. Doubt appears. Those are the moments that matter most. Acting with control during low energy strengthens identity faster than acting during inspiration. When you remain steady despite mood changes, you prove to yourself that your standards are not dependent on feelings. Your environment influences discipline. Surround yourself with cues that support your goals. Keep your workspace organized. Prepare your workout clothes in advance. Remove items that tempt you toward distraction. These adjustments make disciplined behavior easier to repeat. Ease of repetition increases consistency. Track your disciplined actions. Not to boast, but to observe patterns. Notice how many days you stay consistent. Notice how your mood improves with structure. Notice how your productivity rises when you follow routines. Observation deepens commitment. As identity strengthens, self-talk changes naturally. Instead of saying, "I hope I can do this," you think, "I handle responsibilities." Instead of saying, "I always quit," you think, "I stay with my commitments." These thoughts reflect evidence built through repetition. You become less concerned with external approval. Your internal standards matter more. You measure success by adherence to your values, not by applause. Discipline does not remove challenges. It prepares you for them. When unexpected obstacles appear, your structured habits provide stability. You adjust without collapsing. There is also dignity in disciplined living. You carry yourself differently. You speak with clarity. You manage your time with intention. Others sense that you respect yourself. Respect grows from consistency. Strengthening identity requires patience. You may not feel different in the first week, but after months of steady effort, you look back and recognize change. You react differently. You think differently. You plan differently. Transformation is gradual. Avoid extremes. Extreme routines often lead to burnout. Choose sustainable habits. Focus on progress, not perfection. Miss once, return immediately. Protect the pattern. Identity is shaped by frequency, not intensity. You are not defined by a single mistake. You are defined by repeated behavior. Each disciplined choice contributes to the overall picture. As identity strengthens, decision-making simplifies. You no longer negotiate with yourself over basic responsibilities. Your actions align automatically with your standards. This alignment creates peace of mind. Instead of feeling scattered, you feel directed. Instead of feeling uncertain, you feel grounded. Discipline builds inner order. Over time, you become someone who trusts their own structure. You rely on your routines during stressful periods. You maintain focus even when circumstances shift. That reliability is powerful. Strengthen identity through repeated discipline. Build habits that reflect who you want to become. Repeat them steadily. Protect them carefully. Adjust when necessary. Every day offers another opportunity to reinforce your self-image. Choose actions that align with growth. Choose consistency over convenience. Choose structure over chaos. And gradually, you will notice that you are no longer trying to become disciplined. You are disciplined. You are no longer trying to be focused. You are focused. Your identity has shifted because your behavior has been repeated with intention. That is how lasting change happens, through daily discipline that quietly shapes who you are becoming.
Number 8, control emotions before they control you. Emotions are powerful. They rise quickly. They move through your body before your mind has time to think. Anger tightens your jaw. Fear speeds up your heartbeat. Excitement makes your voice louder. Disappointment drains your energy. These feelings are natural. They are part of being human. The problem begins when emotions start making decisions for you. If you want to grow, you must learn to control emotions before they control you. Many regrets in life are emotional decisions. Words spoken in anger, choices made in frustration, promises broken because of temporary excitement. These moments feel intense, but they are short. The consequences often last much longer. Emotional control does not mean suppressing feelings. It means managing your response. You can feel anger without becoming aggressive. You can feel fear without becoming passive. You can feel sadness without giving up. The first step is awareness. Notice the physical signs of emotion. When you are irritated, your breathing may become shallow. Your shoulders may tense. Your voice may change tone. These signals appear before your behavior shifts. If you recognize them early, you can pause. That pause is powerful. In that brief space, you gain choice. Instead of reacting automatically, you decide deliberately. Instead of letting anger speak, you choose your words carefully. Instead of letting fear freeze you, you take a measured step forward. Strong people are not those who never feel emotions. They are those who respond wisely. Imagine receiving criticism at work. Your first reaction might be defensive. Your chest tightens. You feel misunderstood. If you react immediately, you may argue or shut down. But if you pause, breathe steadily, and listen fully, you gain valuable information. You respond with clarity instead of pride. That difference shapes your reputation. Emotions can distort perception. When you are upset, problems seem larger. When you are excited, risks seem smaller. Balanced thinking requires calm. Train yourself to delay response during emotional moments. Count slowly. Take a sip of water. Step outside briefly. These simple actions allow your nervous system to settle. A calm mind makes better decisions. Control also applies to positive emotions. Excitement can push you to overcommit. Overconfidence can lead to careless choices. Stay grounded even when things are going well. Review details. Think ahead. Protect your long-term goals. Your emotional habits shape your life. If you often react impulsively, relationships suffer. If you withdraw when stressed, opportunities pass. If you complain when frustrated, your environment becomes negative. Emotional discipline improves every area. Practice emotional regulation daily. Not only during crises. When traffic is slow, stay patient. When plans change, adapt calmly. When someone disagrees, respond respectfully. These small moments build resilience. There is strength in measured responses. Emotions are temporary waves. If you act at the peak of intensity, you may regret it later. If you wait, the intensity decreases. The problem becomes manageable. Develop routines that support emotional stability. Sleep adequately, eat balanced meals, exercise regularly. Physical well-being influences emotional control. A tired body reacts faster and thinks slower. Reflection also helps. At the end of each day, review emotional moments. Where did you respond well? Where did you lose control? Without judgment, learn from them. Improvement begins with honesty. Language matters. Instead of saying, "I am angry," say, "I feel anger." That slight change reminds you that emotion is an experience, not your identity. You are not your feelings. You are the decision maker behind them. When facing conflict, lower your voice intentionally. Slow your speech. Maintain eye contact. These physical adjustments calm your system and signal maturity. Emotional control increases credibility. People trust those who remain steady under pressure. Leaders especially must manage their reactions. One uncontrolled outburst can damage trust built over years. Control also protects your mental health. Constant emotional swings exhaust you. Stability creates peace. You think clearer. You plan better. You recover faster from setbacks. There will be moments when emotions feel overwhelming. Step away if necessary. Go for a short walk. Breathe deeply. Allow the initial wave to pass before addressing the issue. Courage includes emotional restraint. Some believe that expressing every feeling immediately is honesty.
True strength is choosing when and how to express emotions constructively. Timing and tone matter. If disappointment hits after a failed attempt, acknowledge it. Then shift focus to adjustment. Do not allow discouragement to define your next move. Feel it, learn from it, continue. If anger rises during a disagreement, remember your long-term goals. Ask yourself whether reacting harshly will help or harm the situation. Most of the time, patience serves you better. Emotional control requires practice. You will not master it in 1 week. There will be moments of failure. Use them as lessons. Gradual improvement is progress. Your life quality improves when your reactions become intentional. Conversations become more productive. Decisions become wiser. Relationships become stronger. Control emotions before they control you. Recognize the signs. Pause before responding. Choose actions aligned with your values. When you gain command over your reactions, you gain command over your direction. You stop being driven by temporary feelings and start being guided by long-term purpose. That steadiness creates respect from others and peace within yourself. Mastering emotions does not remove challenges. It prepares you to handle them with clarity and dignity. And when you consistently respond with composure instead of impulse, you build a life shaped by intention rather than reaction.
Number 9, raise standards when motivation drops low. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you wake up energized. Other mornings you feel heavy and slow. Some days your goals excite you. Other days they feel distant. If your progress depends on motivation, your results will rise and fall with your mood. That is why you must raise your standards when motivation drops low. Standards are different from feelings. Standards are decisions you make in advance about how you will act. They do not change because you feel tired. They do not weaken because you feel discouraged. They remain steady. When motivation fades, most people lower their effort. They skip the workout. They delay the project. They relax their discipline. They tell themselves they will restart tomorrow. That pattern slowly erodes progress. Instead of lowering effort when you feel unmotivated, raise your standards. This does not mean doing something extreme. It means tightening your commitment. It means reminding yourself that your behavior is not controlled by temporary emotion. On days when you feel like doing less, do the basics with excellence. If you plan to work for 1 hour, complete that hour with full focus. If you committed to eating well, follow through precisely. If you intended to practice a skill, practice it carefully. Low motivation is a test of character. Anyone can perform when inspired. Few perform when tired. That difference separates average from exceptional. There is a moment when you notice your energy dipping. Your mind looks for comfort. It suggests shortcuts. It suggests distraction. That is the moment to raise your standard. Say to yourself, my feelings do not lower my expectations. Your standards reflect your identity. If you see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, then you finish even on difficult days. If you see yourself as someone who respects time, then you stay focused even when bored. Low motivation is temporary. Regret from wasted time lasts longer. You may feel sluggish at work. Instead of drifting through tasks, choose to organize your priorities clearly. Clean your desk. Outline your next steps. Complete one important action with care. Structure creates momentum. You may feel discouraged about your fitness. Instead of skipping entirely, show up and complete a focused session. You may not break records that day, but you protect your standard. There is pride in meeting your expectations regardless of mood. Raising standards also means reviewing your environment. When motivation drops, reduce distractions, turn off notifications, set a timer, change locations if necessary. Protect your focus intentionally. Structure supports consistency. Standards are internal rules. They define what you accept from yourself. If your rule is that you never miss 2 days in a row, that rule protects you during low periods. If your rule is that you complete priority tasks before leisure, that rule keeps you aligned. Write down your non-negotiables: sleep schedule, work hours, health habits, learning time. Treat them as fixed appointments. During moments of low drive, remind yourself why you started. Not in an emotional way, but in a practical way. What are you building? What are you preventing? What kind of life are you creating? Connect your daily effort to long-term direction. Energy fluctuates. Standards remain. You might think raising standards will feel exhausting. In reality, it creates clarity. Instead of debating with yourself, you follow your rule. that saves mental energy. There will be days when you feel uninspired for no clear reason. That is normal. Do not overanalyze it. Follow your plan anyway. Action often restores momentum. When you complete your responsibilities despite low motivation, you strengthen self-trust. You realize that you can rely on yourself even when you do not feel excited. That realization builds resilience. Low motivation also reveals areas where your system may need adjustment. Perhaps you are overworked. Perhaps you need better rest. Evaluate honestly. Improve your structure without abandoning your standards. Balance discipline with self-care. Raising standards does not mean ignoring physical limits. It means refusing to let mood dictate your direction. If your goal is growth, treat low-energy days as training. They prepare you for future challenges. They teach you to function under less than ideal conditions. Excellence is built in ordinary moments. When motivation is high, effort feels easy. When motivation is low, effort builds strength. There is a specific satisfaction that comes from finishing a task you did not feel like starting. It feels earned. It feels solid. That satisfaction reinforces your identity. You become someone who follows through. Over time, you notice fewer dramatic swings in productivity. Your performance becomes steady. Others may not see the daily effort, but they see the consistent results. Consistency creates credibility. Raising standards also influences how you handle setbacks. Instead of collapsing after a mistake, you reset quickly. You ask what needs improvement. You return to your routine without delay. Momentum is protected by standards. You will not always feel inspired. You will not always feel confident. You will not always feel strong, but you can always choose your response. When motivation drops low, tighten your focus. Simplify your tasks. Execute your plan. Protect your commitments. Your future is shaped more by disciplined action than by emotional highs. Choose to act according to your standards, not your feelings. Choose to honor your commitments, not your comfort. And over time, you will notice something powerful. Your motivation becomes less important because your discipline carries you forward. You no longer wait to feel ready. You operate from principle. Raise standards when motivation drops low. That habit builds character. That habit builds trust in yourself. That habit builds a life directed by intention rather than impulse. When others slow down, you remain steady. When others quit, you continue. Not because you feel different, but because you expect more from yourself. That expectation shapes your results.
Number 10. Decide daily that quitting is not allowed. There are moments in life when quitting feels reasonable. You feel tired, results are slow, effort seems unnoticed, the goal looks distant. In those moments, the idea of stopping appears calm and tempting. It promises relief. It promises rest. But if you are serious about growth, you must decide daily that quitting is not allowed. This is not about being stubborn without thought. It is about commitment. It is about waking up each morning and choosing to continue, regardless of yesterday's outcome. Every long journey includes frustration. You work hard and see little progress. You invest time and make mistakes. You expect improvement and face setbacks instead. These experiences test your resolve. They ask one simple question: will you continue? Quitting often begins quietly. It does not always look dramatic. It starts with reduced effort. It shows up as skipped routines. It appears in delayed tasks. Slowly, your focus drifts. Without a clear decision to persist, the slide continues. That is why the choice must be daily. When you wake up, remind yourself of your direction, not with emotion alone, but with clarity. What are you building? What are you improving? What kind of person are you becoming? That awareness strengthens your commitment. There will be days when you doubt your ability. You may look at others and feel behind. You may question whether your effort matters. In those moments, quitting feels like a way to avoid disappointment. But quitting guarantees regret. Persistence keeps possibility alive. As long as you continue, improvement remains possible. Skills can grow, knowledge can expand, strength can increase. Stopping closes that path. Deciding that quitting is not allowed does not mean ignoring problems. It means adjusting without abandoning your goal. If one method fails, try another. If one schedule does not work, revise it. Stay flexible in strategy, firm in commitment. Many people quit because they expect fast results. When progress takes longer than planned, discouragement rises. Understand that meaningful growth requires time. Patience is part of the process. Consistency often looks ordinary. It lacks drama.
It lacks applause. It involves repeating small actions daily, but over months and years, those actions create significant change. When you consider giving up, pause, breathe steadily. Ask yourself whether the discomfort you feel is temporary or permanent. Most of the time, it is temporary. Fatigue passes, frustration fades, confusion clears. If you stay steady, clarity returns. There is strength in endurance. When you push through a challenging period, you discover capacity you did not know you had. That discovery builds confidence. You may not control outcomes immediately, but you control effort. Focus on what you can influence today. Complete your tasks. Learn from mistakes. Show up again tomorrow. The decision not to quit must be practical. Create routines that support continuation. Set clear milestones. Track your progress. Celebrate small improvements. These habits sustain momentum. Surround yourself with reminders of your purpose. Keep your goals visible. Review them regularly. When doubt appears, return to your reason for starting. There will be voices around you that question your persistence. Some may suggest that stopping is easier. Some may not understand your vision. Listen politely, but protect your commitment. You are responsible for your direction. When progress slows, simplify your focus. Concentrate on the next step, not the entire journey. Completing one meaningful action builds momentum. Avoid comparing your timeline to others. Everyone moves at a different pace. Stay centered on your own path. Physical health also supports persistence. Rest when needed. Maintain balance. Exhaustion weakens resolve. Strengthen your body to strengthen your will. There will be setbacks that feel discouraging. Projects fail. Plans collapse. Opportunities disappear. These moments can shake confidence. Remember that setbacks are part of development. They refine strategy. They reveal weaknesses to improve. Persistence does not guarantee immediate success, but quitting guarantees stagnation. Think about past challenges you overcame. At the time, they felt overwhelming, yet you moved forward. That history proves your capacity. Each day you choose to continue. You reinforce resilience. You train your mind to endure. You teach yourself that difficulty does not define you. The habit of daily commitment transforms identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who finishes, someone who stays, someone who keeps going when others stop. That identity influences future behavior automatically. There may be days when your effort feels unnoticed. Continue anyway. Internal satisfaction matters more than external praise. There may be days when mistakes embarrass you. Correct them and proceed. Growth requires humility. There may be days when progress seems invisible. Trust the process. Invisible improvements accumulate. Decide every morning that quitting is not an option. Even if you slow down, you do not stop. Even if you adjust your plan, you do not abandon your goal. Strength grows through repetition. Discipline grows through repetition. Character grows through repetition. Your life will include pressure. It will include uncertainty. It will include periods of struggle. Meet them with steady commitment. When you look back years from now, you will not regret the days you continued despite difficulty. You will regret the days you gave up too soon. Make the decision simple. No quitting today. No abandoning your standards. No retreat from your commitments. Tomorrow you make the same decision again. Over time, this daily choice builds a powerful foundation. You trust yourself more. Others respect your persistence. Opportunities expand because you remain available for them. Stay steady. Stay committed. Decide daily that quitting is not allowed. That decision shapes your path more than talent, luck, or circumstances ever will.